Hello and welcome to a new episode of Cultural Magazine in which we bring to you the best cultural activities taking place here nationwide. So stay with us.
The National Society of Fine Arts is holding its annual salon where more than 110 artists from the various fields are taking part in it. So we can see paintings, we can see jewelry, we can see sculpture, bronze work, woodwork and all the various types of visual arts. Now let's have a look at that salon.
Joining me now is celeb painter Dr. Farid Fadel. Dr. Farid, I'd like to ask you about your portraits because usually they are so lifelike. Now, you've done so many portraits and so many exhibitions about portraits. The latest was the Salon of the National Fine Arts. Would you talk to us about the painting you participated in that salon with?
Sure. I mean, this painting was exhibited before in the exhibition Mother and Child at the Opera House, which was by invitation of Dr. Ines Abdeldaim. And the idea came to me after the success of its predecessor, which was El Madrasa, which is like the mother is like a school. This is based on a verse, of course, by the great poet Hafiz Ibrahim. And so I thought of another one. When you graduate from school, you go to college. So I thought this portrait is called El Gama. Mother is like a university. And Gama in Arabic means also that she joins many things together. And I feel that this is a portrait that depicts the typical Egyptian peasant mother, kind and witty and smart and hardworking, with her special national dress. The face of the lady looks a bit like the Mona Lisa, and I used the technique of multiple semi-transparent layers. And this technique was often used by the Renaissance painters, Raphael and Leonardo da Vinci. And the way she sits with her hands crossed reminds us a lot of this typical Mona Lisa. But for me, this portrait is also symbolizing my own poetry, because I wrote a poem called El Gama, which of course rhymes better in Arabic. But to the effect of a mother is a teacher, a mother is a friend, she is a comforter, she's the person that really keeps the house together. She is often actually the breadwinner in many places in Upper Egypt, you know. So I believe that to train a mother to become a good, intelligent, well-educated lady means that you are preparing her for a very important role as an educator and somebody that brings up the, let us say, the infrastructure of the Egyptian society. Many governments have been working on the infrastructure of the streets, including all sorts of, electricity and phones and stuff, but we need to work on the infrastructure of the human being but through education and culture. And I think this portrait is talking about this.
for your latest exhibition, Normal Labor, actually, although it's about laborers, but yet it includes a lot of portraits as well. Now, when you work, do you draw from your mind or do you take pictures? Do you sketch first?
Actually, I have many different methods. Sometimes the painting is like a sketch in a way. Like, for example, there are two paintings of the same model. One is called the original manuscript, and the other one has just the face of this young man with his turban. In one, he sat for the whole period, and we did it in a couple of sessions. In another one, he posed for a whole photographic session, and I worked alone afterwards because I could not find a single expression that I was satisfied with. So I wanted to work separately afterwards and change, of course, the background and other things. And sometimes, actually, I work completely from memory. And sometimes I like to work under severe conditions, like I was in Alexandria during the very last rainstorm, and I was working between two rainstorms to see the effect of clouds. You know, artists can be crazy at times, but I went for 3 days during the storm to depict it, so why not? Yeah. I believe that colors have a great expressionistic potential in them, and I believe the expressionistic role within the saturation of coloring is often transmitted immediately and conveyed to the viewer in a very strong way, because of course we have a visual language here. So I often use very good quality paint, and I know the chemistry of the paint, what mixes well with another, because we don't paint with light, we paint with paint, but when we see light. And so we are not in an advantageous position as painters because we are using less than the perfect medium for what normally is seen. So what I also do is to undertone my highest highlights a little bit, so that when I want to do glare, it can really come out as something really shiny. And the last layer has to be put in a glaze, in a semi-transparent glaze, with very strong concentrated pigment of highest quality paint, which I often buy when I go abroad and do my artistic trips every year. I like to try new brands and see what is strong in this and that.
Now, why did you call it normal labor instead of working labor?
I tell you why. Because normal labor, of course, in English means delivery of babies. And I feel that there is something very much in common with our everyday winning of our bread. It's a physiological activity and not a pathological activity. I'm speaking as a doctor now. Okay, so normal labor involves a lot of pain, right? And many people go for C-section because they don't want the pain. But I have to say that our normal everyday work, our normal labor, entre parenthèses, it means that we are going to walk the extra mile, to toil, to have hard work in order to live a normal life. Like a woman is delivering a baby without anesthesia or something, and she screams until that baby comes to life, and then she's happy because there is a beautiful product. So that's why I called it normal labor. I want our toil to become a normal way of life, a way of life, if you will. And that is so important because that's the only way Egypt can survive now. We cannot live on donations forever. We have to produce our own bread to take our own political stand as well.
We are now at one of the most famous culture centers in Egypt, where artists meet and gather to highlight the importance of art and culture, which are the main pillar of the Egyptian society. And today we're witnessing a competition between over 200 artists where they're exhibiting their work. So let's talk to them and see what they are presenting today.
Well, we are 5 members in the juries, 5 juries in this contest. We look for pictures different ways. We are different backgrounds. I'm a photojournalist. Some of us are teachers. Some of us are freelance photographers. So we look to the photo. Every photo we look with different point of view. We discuss composition, light. We discuss the idea of the picture. Of course, the picture which have the good idea will catch our eyes, and we looked at it in different way. And other pictures, maybe we have two kind of pictures here: the exhibition pictures and the winning pictures. So first we look to the exhibition pictures. We choose good pictures, and then we choose the best of them to the winning pictures. I think every year we have a new collection and better output from photographers. We look hard for pictures, so when you see picture, one of these photos, you will say this one deserves to be one of the winning pictures. So we are proud of this exhibition and these pictures, and we look next year, inshallah, it will be better and better, and photographers will learn from their mistakes. The Abdel Fattah Riyad is not a new prize, it's the yearly one, because Abdel Fattah Riyad, who is the one who started from 13 years ago with this contest, but this year it's with the topic about the special needs people. It's parallel with the yearly subject for Sawi Culture Wheel. We didn't receive a lot of pictures, but pictures we received was very powerful, and we chose these 2 pictures for the.
Black and white, it's hero. I love to shoot in black and white, because usually black and white for photography is when we remove all color from the photo, just to show the person something beyond the colors, something like the soul of the person, or lines, or something beyond just colors to attract the eye. This photo was taken in China, different perspective with a different lens. It's a fisheye lens. It's totally different than the normal lenses, so it's different. Yeah, it's my first time, and I had the honor to win the third prize. Definitely, every single present, every single competition or prize, it's adding to the photography a lot. So usually when we have any competition, we can see different people, different point of view of photography, different angles. So definitely, it's adding a lot. Thing.
Every year I participate in the black and white team, and I had winning in the last year for six times in black and white, and I hope to win this year also. Actually, I concentrate in black and white because it's focus in subjects. The main advantage of the black and white, it's take the photographer inside the people, inside the subject, inside the composition of photo. The colored photo, sometimes the color makes some effect in the mind. When the first time you look at the photo, maybe you can concentrate in subject. After you see the whole composition, also the color makes some distortion in sometimes because of the print technique and the editing. But black and white still the main winning or the main hero in the photography. It's a great feeling because this is the sixth time I win in this competition. I hope to be a winning in the black and white team, but the community move it to the motion team, and thank God for this prize and the fifth place. The motion photography depends on the sensitive moment. It's a very hard technique because it's depends on the sense and the sense and the speed of camera, and also the expectation from the photographer, and also depend on the camera and the equipment, the lenses, the speed of lens. My photo especially was a camel race, and especially in the start of the race, so it's hard because in this moment there is a lot of motion behind me and in front of me. Sometimes we face some problems in safety because the camel is very huge, and also they are uncontrollable. So thank God to be safe right now after this trip.
of Cultural Magazine is keen to bring to you the various cultural activities taking place here in Egypt, from visual arts, opera, theater, to the various cultural activities. So if you're interested in the cultural life in Egypt, stay with us.
Nihal Hani. I'm a pharmacist and I'm a member of the Lakta Al-Wahda group, art group, and I'm participating here in the Naiman art exhibition in the Opera House. Naiman exhibition is representing the barber shop. It was actually where they were two barber shops in Bab El Wazir and Al Gamaliya. We are an Lakta Wahda art group are interested in representing the Egyptian heritage, and the antique barber shop was something very unusual to represent in an art exhibition, and it was Naiman. I represented the landscape of the barber shop and also the chair, the antique chair. The shop as a whole was very antique and exquisite, and the chair was very remarkable and had this green color. It was very interesting, and also the barber shop from the outside was having this texture of the walls and the windows and the doors and all the scene. So I was representing it in pastel colors in four paintings. I hope that the Egyptian heritage would have much space in the representations and the art exhibitions. I think that our heritage is very rich, and it has very different topics to represent in the art. And also I hope that we can take this heritage outside to Europe and America and all these places. Yeah.
My name is Sarah Auf. I graduated from the Faculty of Fine Arts, Halwan University in Cairo, and I'm one of the artists of the Lakta Al-Wahda. And our exhibition today is about the barber, and it was a great experience. This is the 28th exhibition of the Lakta Al-Wahda artists, and it was a very good experience that we go to an old barber in old Cairo. The streets and the people are different there. I think that maybe going to places like this could get out of us a good experience of art. I think learning in the Faculty of Fine Arts have given me a great experience in texture and in painting and all the other experiences. But I think that maybe the talent is first, and then we have to learn. After we have talent, we have to learn. So the faculty is very important. I think maybe if someone is not part of the faculty, he can learn also by reading, by knowing artists. But I think the faculty helps and makes it easy on us to be good artists. I've participated with 3 paintings. It's very different kind of participation because I have been doing this 2 of the paintings with one of our colleagues in the group. His name is Ahmed Abul Hassan, and he is a calligrapher. I do the sketching, and then we put some photos and mix them up with programs, and then he mixed up the calligraphy inside them. It's different. It's a kind of different printing art, and this is the first experience that I have this experience with another artist. The both of us in one painting. It was different and first time for me to do it. Okay, I think that Egypt is always getting good artists and good youth. It's always getting good minds, and it's always giving birth to different and cultured people. So I think in 2016 people and artists are getting more and more out of the nature here, and the nature is very, very inspiring, and also abroad artists come and say that really Egypt is very inspiring to everybody.
Seen a variety of cultural activities and events taking place in Egypt, and by this we come to an end of this episode of Cultural Magazine. Until we meet again next week, it's goodbye.